And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting week of ESL Open Cup Asia number 178, your weekly dose of Korean ESL Asian StarCraft. Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. I'm, of course, your host, ZvP, and with me, I'm once again joined by my my beautiful plushies and these amazing players, because we have quite a matchup for you here, right now, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of ZvP, we have the last king of the sea, the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team Gosu. It is MeomaikA. And spawning in the top left hand corner of ZvP, we have his opponent. We have the French Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ShaDoWn. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. As soon as I saw the bracket, as soon as I saw these two lovely players, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted in life, and what I wanted was some amazing StarCraft, some ZvP, Papi. Always. But a very unique kind of ZvP. As I just try to fix up this overlay. Un momento. There we go. The names are correct. And we have been seeing a lot of these two players. ShaDoWn has been representing the Platinum Heroes in WTL week after week. The Platinum Heroes have been fielding their Protoss lineup time and time again. You know, ShaDoWn, Goblin alongside, who's the third one? ShaDoWn, Goblin, and DNS. That's it, and DNS. All three of them have been representing Platinum Heroes quite well, consistently over the season of World Team League. But I believe this is the first time that ShaDoWn is actually playing in ESL Open Cup Asia, and I'm really excited, and this is a big reason as to why the time slot was changed. If you're tuning in for the first time, ESL Open Cup Asia used to be on Sundays, not Mondays. Today it's Monday in Korea. It used to be on Sundays, and it used to be at around 1 p.m. KST, or midday KST, which would have been 6 hours ago, on a Sunday instead. Which is an awful time for Europeans. It's a god-awful time for Europeans. And to be fair, you know, this event is catered towards the Korean scene. It's about, you know, investing and supporting the Korean scene and the Asian scene as well. You know, Southeast Asia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, for example. This kind of region of the world. But recently, of course, ESL, they want to incentivize more signups. They want to give more opportunities, especially because some of the other weekly events, you know, Koreans stay up and play those as well. So why not just open it up to more regions? So we have moved the time slot over, and it does mean that Europeans are more incentivized to compete because, you know, it's not when they should be asleep. It's still early in the morning, it's still early morning in Europe, but it's at a better time slot than previously, so they can compete, they can take part. And just like that, we have players like ShaDoWn, players like MeomaikA as well, and many others in the bracket. So it's great to see that, you know, one of the big reasons as to the big change in time slot for ESL Asia has paid off. And as a result, we get to see some more of this action, some more of, you know, Europe going up against Koreans, Europeans going up against Southeast Asians as well. It's what we all wanted, Okay. And we'll see how this goes, as initially ShaDoWn, he does go for a Stargate opener. Everything's looking normal. He's going to be harassing with his first couple of adepts, but good target firing from MeomaikA does focus down the first adept, and the second one will be fended off. Meanwhile, Mio, he did go for a pull first opener this game, and he is going for a very fast lair. Now, if this was any other player, I would say Nidus, but because it's Mio, and because he's taking one extra gas as well, this should be for a fast Hydra Den. Ling Hydra is something that Mio is very fond of in this matchup, and it can work very well against not just Oracle openers, but also Blink Stalker follow-ups as well. And that's kind of what ideally Hydras go up against. So yeah, we'll see how this all does unfold. We do have the first Oracle zooming across the map. Spore is done. Queen is in position. The Oracle is going to be able to pick off one drone, but only one. Does spot the second gas, which is a little bit suspect. A second gas this early on is pretty out of the norm, especially against a Stargate opener. So ShaDoWn should be recognizing that something is wrong. Meanwhile, the Lings, they flood across the map, and they do not get a kill on that pylon. They merely shave off some of the shields. Meanwhile, as we check back at home, there's that Hydra Den. Hydra Den was thrown down a little bit late. It took a couple of seconds before it was thrown down after that lair was done, but it's on the way nonetheless. So Yeah, MeomaikA going into his tried and true Ling Hydra. Meanwhile, we do have the Adepts in the middle of the map. They do get caught out. 2 Adepts do go down instantly, and we're going to get the 3rd. Beautiful. And from there, we do see again a counterattack. We're forcing in a warp in. We're forcing a reaction out of ShaDoWn. And Meo is just flooding more Lings across the map. We have Hydra speed and Hydra's on the way as well. And Meo, he really wants to try and punish this 3rd base, and it looks like he will. Shield battery goes down. The pylon, sorry, the Stalker will go down as well. Oracle's trying to do what it can, but it will not save the units on the ground. The Oracle is out of energy. The other 2 are forced to turn back around, and they should be able to shut down these Lings, for now at least. Oh, we want the pylon. Ah! The pylon doesn't quite go down. Meo is forced out of there, but hey, it's okay because now we have some anti-air. We have those Hydras. They are hitting the field. MeomaikA, he cut workers at 44. Again, just 2 gas saturation. Barely any drones here at the 3rd base, and we're just focusing on Ling and Hydra production. The Hydras have been missed. So there we go. They have now been spotted. We do have a creep highway being set up across the map as well. 1 Oracle goes down instantly, and I just don't think we have enough to defend. We have 4 Stalkers. We have a shield battery. We're about to have an overcharge as well, but the DPS of the Hydras is too damn high. The Stalkers are going down anyway. Takes a couple of volleys for them to go down, to be fair, but they are going down nonetheless. And oh god, it looks like maybe the shield battery was able to buy enough time, but oh god, the Oracles. The Oracles get focused down. There are only 2 Stalkers remaining, and we have more units flooding across the map. There's just too much Zerg. The 3rd base is falling, and we invested so much to keep it alive, and that's the end of the game. GG gets called, and MeomaikA takes game number 1. Oh. In a very MeomaikA fashion. GG. GG, well played. Again, this is the kind of bread and butter of MeomaikA's ZvP. If things start to snowball, then he will commit and just amass Lings and Hydras, send them all across the map, and it snowballs out of control. The initial Lings were killing Stalkers. They were forcing the Oracles back home. And what's important about that is that the Oracles did not scout the Hydra den. They didn't see the Hydras until they were already across the map. Were not spotted until it was too late. And by the time they were spotted again, we didn't really have much left at home to defend. We had a handful. We had 4 Stalkers, if you remember. We had 2 Oracles with energy. The 3rd one didn't have any, and the 3rd one was actually sniped in the middle of the map as well. And we had a shield battery. The overcharge was putting in some work, but it just goes to show how high DPS Hydras really do have, and they can eventually power through the power of a shield battery, of an overcharge. Hydras, they got some high DPS. They really do. And here we go. Now we're looking to get into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team Gosu. It is MeomaikA. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ShaDoWn. Neo doing so well for himself already, having a really good start. Really good start to this series, but we'll see if he can close it out here. We'll see if ShaDoWn can adapt. Again, when it comes to MeomaikA, he's a very unique player. He has a very unique style, and he has been studied, he has been read. There are now some Europeans that are aware of him just because he made a bit of a splash a couple of years ago in the European scene because of his DreamHack performances, specifically last year. And there was a bit of a rude awakening. You know, Hearthstone struggled against MeomaikA, Spirit struggled against MeomaikA, Lambo as well. And they all kind of came together. They put their brains together, their heads together to figure out how to solve the puzzle that is MeomaikA. But even though we had some of the top tier Europeans do that, not all the Europeans. And ShaDoWn, again, may be unfamiliar with MeomaikA and how he does, you know, experience StarCraft. I was going to say play StarCraft, but I said You know, MeomaikA, what he does to StarCraft is it's different. It's a little bit different. Out of the norm, off meta, but still works at the highest level of play. Still can go toe to toe with the best of them. As of course we always have to say, MeomaikA did 2-0 Maru at LAN. Did happen. Oh, the power of Mio. Until then, though, we do have some pretty standard openers. Hatch Gas Pool. Oh, sorry, I say Hatch Gas Pool. It was a pool first from MeomaikA once again. You have a couple of Lings rushing across the map as we speak, and MeomaikA is forced to take the unnatural natural as well. Lings just threatening, but we do have a full wall off back at home, so Lings will turn back around for the time being, and yeah, things will settle down from here. Now, I do think that specifically Glaive Adept openers can work really well against Mio. I do really like Twilight Council openers against him. We have seen Mio kind of crumble and fall to the pressure of Glaive Adepts time and time again. This time though, ShaDoWn is not going for a Twilight Council, he's going for a Stargate for the second time in a row. Now this is still fine. We can still get into Glaive Adepts later. We can have a Stargate into Twilight Council into Glaives. It's happened before, we could see it again. But we'll see. Again, we'll see what ShaDoWn wants to do. We'll see if he's like, you know what? You can be weird, you can be different. I'm gonna play out my game anyway, and I know that I can make this work. I know that I made a couple of mistakes last time. I didn't know what was happening, but I know that I can just tighten up my build. Speaking of tightening up the build, once again, fast lair, fast second gas. There's gonna be another Hydra opener. These are the tells here of MeomaikA's opener in PvZ or ZvP. He's going to be saturating his bases, taking that second gas. You have the one Overlord just being swatted away across the map. Almost goes down, but only almost. They'll survive in the end. And MeomaikA is slowly taking control of his side of the map. Again, when it comes to how MeomaikA plays, outside of just unit compositions, he also has some tendencies with his units as well. And one of them is he doesn't make a lot of queens and he doesn't spread a lot of creep. Not with tumors anyway. As we saw last game, he can spread creep with his overlords, not so much with queens. Just in Mio's mind, they're just not made for that sort of thing. They're not made to spread creep, they're made to inject and only inject. And sometimes transfuse as well. Sometimes. As there's that Hydrogen that we were talking about, as soon as the layer is done, this is a much more crisp timing from MeomaikA with said Hydrogen. Across the map, the Lings do show up. They're going to force an activation of a pulsar beam, and they get eyes on the third base. As soon as the beam runs out, they do dive back in, force another activation. So again, these are all really... Oh, he's going back in! Oh my god, that's the third activation. Oh my god. Mio is doing so much damage with this. Just dancing with the army. At the same time, we have a couple of adepts slipping in towards the natural, but they don't get any damage done, and they will be cleaned up. Meanwhile, I see some gates, I see a Twilight Council, and I don't see a Forge. This is feeling like a Glaive Adept follow-up, but it's not going to hit fast enough because the Lings are already here. They once again are activating these beams on the Oracles, just wasting more energy. Hydras are on the way, and even though I appreciate... No, it's going to be the Forge, never mind. Even though I appreciate this gateway explosion, MeomaikA is going to be hitting hard and fast. Overlords are being spread out. Mio going to be supply blocked for a little bit here, but the Hydras are coming across the map. Oh, I do worry for the life here of ShaDoWn as he does miss the army. He's moving out across the map. He does spot one of those Hydras, but does he really see it? He needs to turn around. There we go. The Hydras, sorry, the Oracles do turn back around. Shield batteries are on the way. We have a lot of them actually. We have shield batteries and cannons at the natural and at the third base. But MeomaikA has arrived. Is that overcharge going to be keeping the natural base safe? But MeomaikA, he just rotates around towards the southern base instead. Towards that third. Oh! The Stalkers, they do move out of position for a moment, but so far, ShaDoWn has been doing a great job at setting up defensively here. He does activate those pulsar beams. He doesn't have an overcharge, unfortunately, but the Hydras are running out. ShaDoWn is holding. Mio, he's trying to be very careful with how he uses his Hydras. He almost gets a surround, but not quite. He's going to be able to catch some of these Stalkers. Again, a very good pickoffs here from MeomaikA. Oh, the target firing as well. 1, 2, 3 stalkers go down. Only 4 stalkers are left. Oh no. And the wall is not a wall. The stalkers are getting out of position, and the 4 remaining stalkers all go down one after the other. Now MeomaikA can rotate towards towards that third base instead. Goes back around, and the final oracle does fall as well. So these have been really good pickups from MeomaikA, but he hasn't damaged the economy here of ShaDoWn, not yet. He's just rallying, he's just consolidating his army, he's droning up a little bit. It looks like MeomaikA has recognized that he may not be able to end the game. That blink is now done. The wall, not quite a wall, and there we go, the Lings are going to be flooding on in. We have that second overcharge being popped at the third base of ShaDoWn. Oh, good. And these Lings are going to town here in the mineral line. 4 probes full. He's looking for a little bit more. Meanwhile, the Stalker control here from ShaDoWn has actually been really good this game. Like, he's been doing such a phenomenal job at splitting off his units and defending quite well with what he has, or what little he has. As he does supply block MeomaikA. But that Hydra count is getting terrifying. Oh my god, another Oracle falls. So far, Blinks are looking pretty good here from ShaDoWn. Meo just trying to decide where he wants to be attacking here. These Hydras are getting very low. They are being focused down by these Stalkers. Without the Link buffer, these Hydras are very vulnerable. They are glass cannons. Look at the units lost tab here. MeomaikA losing 15 Hydras in total. But he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want to slow down. Oh, as another Hydra falls. We do have a couple more gates on the way here for ShaDoWn that will help with his production overall. That will help with his warp-ins. Like, he does have a massive bank. Another Stalker. But with this warp-in, I do think ShaDoWn should be able to hold on. There's another overcharge. These Lings are getting picked off time and time again. And yeah, that Hydra count isn't as high as it once was. Back at home, again, we don't really have a great economy. Like, MeomaikA is pretty all in with this. He's like hoping that ShaDoWn overextends, but now we have more stack defense on the way at both the natural and the third. MeomaikA's trying to dive in, but once again, the Blinks are just too good. He's going to be keeping the army busy on the left-hand side. The Cybercore is a bit exposed, but doesn't go down. Yeah, we are hitting critical mass of Stalker. Things looking pretty intense. Things looking really worrisome for ShaDoWn earlier on, but it looks like as time goes on, it's just getting easier and easier to defend. The Lings all get cleaned up. The Hydras are going to be going down next, and ShaDoWn, he knows he has a massive advantage. He's pushing on forward, pushing out of his bases onto creep. Meo just doesn't have the numbers, not anymore. Oh, the Blinks, papi, the Blinks. They're just too good. As MeomaikA stutter steps forward, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. Let's go, papi, let's go. We are going to game 3. To game number 3, and this is where it all comes down. Oh, I almost clicked on the wrong link. almost jumped into Australia's game. But yeah, that was a really good response out of ShaDoWn. Despite that, like, ShaDoWn was so close to dying. that was a close one, to be honest. At times, MeomaikA was breaking through, trading efficiently, but MeomaikA's reinforcements, they took a little bit too long to get across the map. MeomaikA also lost, I want to say, 2 overlords early on, and that did supply block in the middle of the fight. So he wasn't able to overwhelm the way that he would have liked to. And with that, ShaDoWn, really nice reaction here, really nice adaptation over the course of the series. Again, to just take it pretty seriously and throw down shield batteries and cannons and be hyper defensive. Oh, oh! We're gonna have to remake. We're gonna have to remake, Papi. I don't know if you can see in the loading screen, but ShaDoWn is Terran. ShaDoWn is not Terran. For a moment, I was like, wait, are we playing it out? Like, ShaDoWn wasn't saying anything, but... yeah, he was not going to off-race. Thankfully. Wait, what? No shot. No shot. We're getting some updates, Papi. Did he... There's no way. Refreshing the bracket. What's been happening? Okay. Okay, I saw Maddox and Steadfast in a lobby with Orianna, and I was like, wait, did Orianna take down Ragnarok? Did that happen? No, never mind. They're just setting up for the next game. As results are coming in, and we'll be able to jump on that later on. So good, as here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient System. Oh, it's happening! Bottom left-hand corner of Ancient System, we have the French Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ShaDoWn. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, going for the 12 pool, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing Team Gosu. It is MeomaikA. Wait, what? Why did that... I think I pressed the wrong buttons a couple of times, but it's all good because we are going for the 12 pool. And let me see if I can quickly fix this, as the players did just somehow end up in opposite corners. Bam, there we go. And yeah, we're going to be getting into something very different here. So MeomaikA has different variations of 12 pool. I have to reach into the recesses of my mind. The last time he 12 pooled, it was quite committed, actually. He didn't take a... I think he took a fast gas. I think he took a fast gas afterwards. I want to say that happened. I want to say that he had a twist, like a variation to the 12 pool, and we'll see what that's going to be, as 12 pools are usually a little bit more economic. So here we go. First wave of lings are rushing across the map. Only 6 lings. Interesting. Very interesting. So typically when you 12 pool, we make 10 lings. We make 6, and then we make another 2 volleys after that for 10 in total. And with 10 lings, you can threaten the wall, you can potentially surround the zealot as well, and you can wreak a little bit of havoc. Because we only made 6 lings, MeomaikA is very quickly transitioning, and yep, there we go. He's going into his natural, and he's going into a very fast extractor. Is this... I want to say, is this for like a follow-up roach push? I think so. It is for a follow-up, either roach push or maybe a fast lair. We'll see. I casted MeomaikA against a Protoss over the weekend, and we cast so much StarCraft. It's already buried. It's already buried like underneath all of the StarCraft. Aye. But with two Zealots, we are going to be able to force this back. Behind this, we have 2 more Adepts on the way as well. So ShaDoWn is going to be very aggressive here, and he's going to be looking to punish MeomaikA's opener. And MeomaikA has to be very careful with this. He's bringing his 2 queens down to the low ground, which is a good start, but he will be forced to make more lings. There we go. Those lings are on the way. We are mining gas, and we'll see if that's just for ling speed or for something else. As I believe it should be for ling speed, as we do now have the resources for it. Yep, there we go. Ling speed is on the way. MeomaikA doesn't pull out of gas. Bear that in mind. He's intentionally staying on gas for a purpose. Meanwhile, the Adepts and Zealots push on 4. They do shade into the mineral line as well, but we do have some lings and a queen waiting for them. Oh, misclick. Oh. 2 drones go down. 2 drones for 2 adepts. I would say maybe a better trade here for MeomaikA, as he's going to be rushing across the map with his lings. Uh-oh. Down's going to be careful, but he should be able to... Yeah, he's going to be able to get back into position. The lings are going to take too long to get across the map, and we are going into Glaive Adepts, which I do think is a good choice here for ShaDoWn. Especially if Meo does go for a more Hydra-centric army again. Till then, MeomaikA is being forced back. He's droning onto bases. We'll see if he throws down a third. We'll see. He should be working towards a lair soon as well, just because we do have an abundance of gas that we aren't fully making use of yet. The other unfortunate thing is that MeomaikA doesn't know what his opponent's doing. He doesn't know if it's Twilight Council or a Stargate. Meanwhile, there is that lair that we were talking about. Tis on the way. We're getting our second gas geyser, and this is where I worry. This is why I worry, because we have seen MeomaikA crumble to Glaive Adepts before. Whether it's a straight up Twilight Council opener or whether it's Stargate into Glaives, MeomaikA typically struggles just because his go-to build, his go-to composition is Ling Hydra. And Ling Hydra, they die horribly to Adepts. It's not great to look at. It's terrifying, Papi. And here we go. The first wave of Adepts are upon us. Glaives is done. But thankfully, this isn't committed. We're getting a threat base behind this. And there's no Robo for a Prism. So MeomaikA, he should be able to deal with this. This is only 4 gate Glaive Adept. Nothing too crazy. They're going to get surrounded. And MeomaikA is going to not just be able to clean this up, but go for a massive counterattack as well. Does lose 5 drones, which is quite a lot, but there is that Hydra that we were talking about. And again, because ShaDoWn is going for a more passive and economic variation of a Glaive opener, this is definitely a good thing for MeomaikA. It's amazing. As Meo is cutting workers at 32, he's amassing nothing but lings. Oh, the Adepts, they do get surrounded. Hydra upgrades are on the way. Now, what are we going to have to defend? Because we haven't started Blink. We're going to be staying on Glaive Adepts. We're headed towards a Robo as well, maybe to get into Colossi production. But before that can happen, Lings, they're hitting the field. They do have to be careful. They do have to respect the Adepts. They will. Yeah, there is Bays on the way. So we're going to be going Adept Colossus, which I do think is, again, going to work really well here for ShaDoWn. Even though, like, I want to say that, like, it would have been better to have just committed more and been more aggressive with the Adepts. This is still a good position for ShaDoWn. I mean, he's up in workers. He's up in bases as well. Just has to be careful not to throw this away. As he's moving out with his Adepts, he doesn't really have much else to work with right now. His Bay isn't even done. He doesn't have a Colossi. So I don't think this is the wisest of choices. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's gonna get surrounded. We are forced to recall as well. Ooh. ShaDoWn playing with fire. Thankfully, he does preserve the majority of his army. Is now commencing Colossi production. And he just has to sit back. He just has to sit back, chill, defend. But is the stack defense too late? That's the problem. MeomaikA is already here. He has a larger army. Far larger army. And here we go. The Hydras do reveal themselves. The Baileys are going to be waddling on in as well. The boys not being pulled quite yet. Just waiting for the last moment. And there we go. The boys are pulled the hell out of there. The Banelings are looking for the juicy center of those Adepts. Lings are focusing down at the base as we speak. Oh, and the third base will go down. Again, Mio could never really fight the army head on, but he does trade well, you know, gets a base, gets some pylons, a couple of workers here and there, a couple of adepts. Oh, but ShaDoWn, he wants to cut him off. With only one Colossi. I don't know about this, Papi. I don't know. The Lings are coming in from behind. The Hydras from the front. The Adepts are fighting on their own without the support of the Colossi. Oh, none of the Colossus are going to be going down as well. ShaDoWn, I think he had the right idea overall to go into Adept Colossi, but we were never able to get into that composition. Every single Adept goes down. The Colossus count gets reset. We don't have a third base either. ShaDoWn, he has workers, but he's long distance mining. He just doesn't have a standing army. Doesn't exist. And now MeomaikA is looking to take advantage of that, and here we go. There is no overcharge. There is no base to trigger that. The ground army gets completely surrounded, and MeomaikA is going to be able to pull this off. The Ling Hydra, it strikes once again. And there is nothing left to defend the third, or even defend the natural, defend anything. There's one Colossi that just pops out. But alas, it is not going to be enough. As this time, the third base goes down, and it will stay down. Colossus count is slowly getting higher, and these Hydras, they gotta be careful not to overextend. But I'm sure MeomaikA is really content with this game state, right? Like, ShaDoWn doesn't really have an army. His economy is in shambles as well. He's running out of resources in his main. Colossus count is getting higher and higher, but all that MeomaikA has to do is take into a hive and go into Vipers. We can see he's actually going to be transitioning into a Roach army instead, which can work out quite well. Colossi, they can have a hard time fending off roaches, as opposed to disruptors or immortals, for example. And yeah, from here, if MeomaikA wanted to, he could drone, and he kind of is. He's squeezing out a couple of workers here and there. Don't get us wrong. The wall is not a wall either. The Lings, they get into the natural. They're not going to get too many workers, but some lost mine time in the main base. The Lings, they do rotate over towards the main as well. We have a force field. And we'll clean up all those Lings. And you know, ShaDoWn, he's getting his economy back up and running, but it pales in comparison to MeomaikA's position right now. We're working towards our upgrades. 1-1 about to kick in. Roach army getting larger and larger. And again, there is no answer to roaches. There's adepts and there's colossi, which can work well head to head, but MeomaikA should be looking to try and get a surround instead. Actually, he's just gonna rush on forward. He doesn't even care. He probably should. As he goes for a link counterattack at the same time. Ugh. Yeah, these sentries do change things. They do require MeomaikA to come in from multiple angles if he wants to fight this. ShaDoWn thankfully does recognize that he probably shouldn't test his luck too much and will back off. MeomaikA, he wants it. He wants the army. Oh god, he's on creep! He's gonna have to recall. Does find himself in a decent position. We can force through the ramp. That's exactly what we get. But now ShaDoWn, he's outpositioned himself. He is not at home. Yeah, there we go. We are gonna have to recall back home instead. Oh, and just like that, the Colossi are exposed. Two of them go down instantly. We have a disruptor, but one disruptor is not going to be enough. Oh my, it's pretty good though. It's a pretty good Nova. Oh my god, it took down like 6 or 7 roaches, but GG gets called, and MeomaikA will take game number 3 and the series 2-1. GG, well played. Congratulations to MeomaikA. It was a close one, not gonna lie. I was really concerned for MeomaikA in game 3. I do think that if ShaDoWn had been a little bit more I don't know, a little bit more disciplined in just, you know, defending on 3 bases and working towards that that kind of 2 or 3 Colossus count before moving out, I do think that he would have found a little bit more success. But as we saw, he was a little bit premature with his move out. He was very, yeah, just overly aggressive, and as a result, he lost his first Colossus for free. He lost all of his adepts as well. Oof, it was a rocky road there for ShaDoWn, but regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to MeomaikA as he moves on to the next round. I did well. GG. ShaDoWned MeomaikA. All right. With that, I should probably announce the score here as well.